What's up, chat? We're not going to have a long intro today because we have business to talk about, B-I-N-N-I-S. And we're going to talk about this business, and then we're going to get into everything else we're going to talk about. I know the title we have. We're going to talk a little bit later on. We're going to talk about Marlon Wayans' clap back to Vlad TV. We're going to talk about that because our first conversation is going to dovetail into that, because we're talking about the power of black folks, the power we have when we stand on our own. And you saw a little bit of that power flexed when Marlon Wayans went on to Club Shay Shay. They're now into the millions of views. All because, you know, when the white boy got out of line, Vlad TV, you know, he had to get put back in his place. And so we saw that power. We see that power working in real time, which comes in on the tail end of what we're going to talk about first, and that's California reparations. This California reparations discussion has gone from a discussion to actual tangible work. It's grown, and it's now a national conversation. Just this time last week, you couldn't get nobody to mention reparations. Now, all of a sudden, Roland Martin done figured out that we doing this over here. And we're starting to see the Fox News done picked it up, New York Post. And we're seeing how the reparations thing that just a few years ago, people was calling a pipe dream. We saw it getting out, and I think Newsom thought it was a pipe dream too. That's why he allowed it to go as far as it did. But we've seen this work, and we've seen how far it's come. So what I want to do today is to clear up all of the confusion, to clear up all of the nonsense that they're throwing out there about what we didn't get, what we can't get, what we didn't do, what we need to do. Because all you what we need to do as people be the main ones at home, not out doing nothing. So what we about to do is we're not about to talk to a need to do person. We're talking to somebody who's already done. Ms. Friday Jones, she's a founding member of CJEC. And CJEC is the website I gave you guys a little while ago. Let me see if I can pull it up right here. CJEC, no, that's there we go. Here we go. CJECofficial.org. That's where you get all of your, they've done the groundwork for most of our reparations movement. And these are the people that are responsible for getting it as far as it's gone. So we have a founding member of CJEC that is here with us today, doing great work. Somebody I met just recently. And I had to contact her and get her information and talk because I think it's very important that we hear from the people, not from the news, what's going on. And so I have Friday Jones with me. I don't have her for too long, so we're going to get into it, talk about what's going on in reparations, and then the biggest thing is we're going to talk about who's in the way, and most of all, what we can do to mobilize and continue to move forward, because this ain't about crying over spoiled milk and spilled milk. This is all about, okay, what we can do now, today, tomorrow, and moving forward until we have some money in our bank account, and then more coming after that. Well, welcome, Friday. How you doing? Thank you again for joining us.
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me, Dwan. And just for clarification, I am not here to speak on behalf of the Coalition for a Just and Equitable California. Chris Logston is the lead advocate there and the lead organizer. And so I think really for an in-depth CJEC view, you might want to have him there. But I am certainly able to talk to you in terms of the call I got and how I was able to use the National Assembly of American Slavery Descendants to mobilize folks in California and leverage some relationships so that it became a coalition of people even from Southern California who were willing to go up to Sacramento to try and get this job done.
Yeah, talk to us about that. What year did all of this get organized? And talk to us about the genesis of this. How did it get organized?
Oh my gosh. So some names will not be named. I will say that there was a particular hashtag and moniker that emerged around 2018, 2019 that just clicked with a lot of people in being descendants of people who were enslaved here in the United States. Mm-hmm. And basically in our locales, there are those of us who activated offline. We started doing meetups like in 2000, late 2018, early
Mm-hmm.
2019. And our first initiative kind of across the country, there was an organizers circle, and there was a group. I just started pulling people that I saw using the hashtag into a Twitter chat, actually. And that group of people started having weekly calls, and then when the first time HR 40 went to the judiciary, which it had never done in 30 years, we were like, we got to get people there, we got to get a hashtag trending. And so we mobilized like across the country to make that happen. We had a petition, we had different people signing off on that, because we weren't really pleased that it was being held on Juneteenth, that Dr. Sandy Darity couldn't be present. And so that genesis of people who kind of came from online into the real world, activating from where they were, eventually there was a grouping of us who continued to work together. We became an unincorporated group of persons. Chris Logson, who is, again, the lead organizer for CJEC, was the vice president of that entity, and that was like what we called the Assembly, and it became the National Assembly of American Slavery Descendants. Once he saw that we had kind of made some inroads with Dr. Shirley Weber in terms of reparations, he stepped to the side to lead the state effort, and I remained at the Nationals in order to lead the federal effort. So we've always worked sort of lock in step, and with the federal, state, and then wherever your municipality is, you get involved in that way. And that's the three-pronged approach that we use with NAASD. So the genesis started really in 2018-19, and individuals grow into organizations, and that happened very organically.
Got you. So we're dealing with something and I think I know you're talking about, and I'd rather not mention those names either. That name. So, but I saw, I see how, what moves offline is something that isn't too much reported online. And, but those are the moves that need to be made to get things going. Because I became aware of what you guys have been doing about 2020, 2021, sometime during the pandemic, during those years.
The
And that,
pandemic helped the movement. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie, because all of a sudden everybody was working from home. We were able, I think, in that window of time from like 2020 to 2022, we were really able to hop in as organizers. Like, we submitted legislation federally for what relief should look like. Locally in LA, we issued pamphlets on where people could find out information, because when COVID was happening, everybody was just sick, nobody knew where the resources were, so we put together a resource guide. And so we saw ourselves even in some of the federal legislation, because we were doing that behind the scenes, and like, that's thankless work. Nobody knows about that. Like, that's a precursor to the reparations, if you will. But from our perspective, all things are reparations. There's not an aspect, if you will, of Black American life that has not been negatively impacted by racism.
that's real talk. That's super real talk. Because you're right about the pandemic. I remember the pandemic, seeing it and seeing things around, and that's when I started getting on some of those calls. And then I remember in 2022 there was the thing at the California African American Museum that that rally. Then right after that, there was a smaller rally on the steps of the City Hall, and I was at that one. And I just started to see this momentum pick up. So we got the momentum going. We're here. So how does this now get introduced into the state assembly?
So remember, there was a whole AB 3121 task force. Gavin Newsom signed off on the legislation in order to have a task force. That task force met for 2 years. They issued 2 reports. The first report was an interim report that was loosely on all of their findings, everything that had been discovered. For those of you who like saying California was not a slave state, you could bring slaves from out of state to mine gold or do whatever you needed your unpaid labor to do. And California was in the habit of capturing people and then returning them back. to wherever they have been enslaved. So California absolutely participated in slavery, even though it likes to say that it did not. It absolutely did. And some of that came out in that initial report and findings. The second report was all recommendations, 1,000 pages worth of recommendations, ranging from environmental, ranging from education. They covered almost everything. Policing, they covered a wide range of pathologizing the Black family, meaning telling Black people they're responsible for their circumstances when they haven't been governing. We haven't been allowed to govern ourselves. So how could we create systems that have us living next to environmental hazards? How could we create systems? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so that whole thing happened 2 years, and some of the legislators, Reggie Jones Sawyer, Bradford, who were on that commission, put forth reparations legislation, and CJEC worked most closely with Senator Bradford because he was willing to really go for things that would have been groundbreaking and would have altered the trajectory of the federal reparations conversation. And so, we stayed in there with him through his 2025 legislative bills. He introduced them late fall of 2024. And then we started whipping votes. We're calling people. We're doing campaigns. Email your legislators. Write in. Call their offices every step of the way. And his bills, ironically, made it all the way through the Senate. Untouched, unedited. That's almost unheard of. And so we were like, okay, great. So then we start doing the same thing on the assembly side. And the thing about the CLBC, kind of where they enter, although there is one member, Lola Smallwood, who happens to be my state senator, on the Senate side, bills go all the way through. On the assembly side, they've got 2 steps before they go to the final assembly floor, which is the judiciary and appropriations. Well, members of the CLBC had signed off on the bills through those 2 phases. Why would we think that they wouldn't pass with the final step, particularly when organizers and advocates actually whip votes on the assembly side as well?
Wow. So it got that far. So then we get to this past week and the confusion. What happened? So people can go ahead.
There was the expectation on Wednesday that the reparations bills would be brought forward, right? So there are representatives from CJEC's coalition who live in Northern California. California, about 5 states big, for people who don't know. Like, you could drive the whole 95 on the East Coast and go through all those states. That's how big California is.
Yes, it is.
And so, yes. And so, it's a lot of land mass is my point. And so the folks who lived up in Northern California, and that would be like people living in New York versus people living down in Georgia in terms of space, right? So the people living up in New York, or not in New York, in Northern Cali, they were present, and then they saw, the bill that Kavon Ward and Where's My Land worked on had made its way through. That was the land return bill, which had some language for compensation and basically making people whole who had lost land through eminent domain, right? That bill goes through. Our bills don't go through. Okay, we're being told they're going to come through on Thursday. Okay, by Thursday evening, like close of business, maybe 5, 6 o'clock, it's like, hey, the bills haven't gone through. So then we do another surge, right? Coalition. Now we get BLMLA involved. We get Where's My Land involved. And we get NAASD involved. And I leveraged some of those relationships to support CJEC. And we're like, okay, we need an extra push of calls and emails. And so the calls and emails happen. Overnight, they got something like 18,000 more calls than they had gotten, a whole other time before. And then unfortunately, Tina McKenna, I don't know what she was thinking. She didn't say, hey, you guys need to get people here. She said, we know you can't get people here. All right, well, close of business Friday. Oh, we in trouble now. We're doing a caravan. The caravan email, the caravan social media goes viral. The caravan, for whatever reason, that struck a chord with people, and that bad boy went viral, and people showed up. And that's all the stuff that you kind of see in the film and the tapes and the conversations. That is how we got to that moment in time.
So that's how you got to that moment. Okay. So we get to that moment. We're here, and then the bill gets tabled or whatever. Who should the people? Who are we looking at now? Who? What are the? What
So
are the? What are we looking? What are we looking for? Who are we looking at right now? What happened right there?
so here's the thing, and we got to start with our executive house, right? Our head honcho, Gavin Newsom. And I'm not gonna lie, the only reason I voted for Gavin Newsom during this 2020 term was because I'm like, all right, he signed the AB 31 task force. He can't be a stranger when the legislation hits his desk.
Right.
What Gavin Newsom did in the 12th hour was change the language in the Freedmen Agency, and the Freedmen Agency had a second bill that had a funding source that made it, again, through appropriations, and appropriations saw fit to give $12 million to the fund that would have funded the Freedmen Agency. Gavin Newsom literally crosses out all language but his language, and his language calls for $6 million to go for a 2-year report at the Cal State system. He
So
basically gutted Senator Bradford's bill.
so he gutted
With
the
the
bill,
hmm
made it another study. So how? So the California Legislative Black Caucus, we're now here. It is it a good thing that they didn't push the bill through, or would we have rather have seen them push it through and put it on Newsom? What do you what?
Yeah, I think that we have to live in a time. Honestly, when Cat Williams did his interview at the top of 2024, I knew it was going to be a different kind of year, and it has not disappointed, because this is the year of truth, and everything comes out, and things are coming out super, super fast. And I don't think that they should have given him political cover. They probably were giving him political cover thinking that it might influence Kamala Harris's presidential run, but these are all Democrats. And so they should have let Gavin Newsom, if he was not going to put forward Bradford's bill in its original language without his amendments, which gutted it, they should have allowed him the opportunity to do that, and they didn't. And so since they didn't put it forward, I don't know, because honestly, they all kind of look tight-lipped and scared. Isaac Bryant came and talked to us when we were up in Sacramento. Isaac Bryant basically said, you only have 3 votes or something like that, and you need 4 more. And it's like, how do we need 4 more of the CLBC? Why aren't you all championing behind this bill? Because the rest of the legislature is looking for you for direction, and that part is not uncommon. And so for them to not allow the bill to the floor made no sense. When Lori Wilson, who is the chair of the CLBC, again, California Black Legislative Caucus is what that stands for, when she came out to talk to us, she basically said, oh, well, it's not going to happen. And unfortunately, that's pretty normal. When it comes to bills, sometimes we have to bring a bill back, and we'll work on doing that next year. Ma'am, there's nothing ordinary about these bills. These are groundbreaking bills. We haven't had a Freedmen Agency of any kind in the whole of the United States since President Andrew Johnson put the clap down and shut down the Federal Freedmen's Bureau. And so had that moved forward, now we can press the next administration, whoever it is, to bring a like agency at the federal level, because we got precedents.
That
and
was
now
my
we
biggest
don't have
thing.
no
Precedents. For me, when I saw the Freedmen's Agency, yeah, we want money, yeah, but when you setting a Freedmen's Agency and having that Freedmen's Agency be tied to lineage, you're now putting it and codifying it in a way that is you can't sue for it. It's within laws, not a race-based thing. The whole lineage part connected with that, because everything works through bureaus. The bureaus, Native Americans got bureaus. Everybody has when people get money, they have a bureau specific to them. And so I thought, for me, that was the most important part of this particular part of the legislation, was to have that. And so we've gotten to that point, and now, because we only have a few more minutes, where do we go? What's next? What's next? How do we go from where we are now? What can we do, both for people here in California and those federal nationally?
So obviously you can follow cjecofficial.org. Again, cjecofficial.org, because they are the premier state reparations organization, and it is a compilation of many reparations, not black orgs that do black things. It is a compilation of reparations organizations from across the state that just do reparations. The other thing you can do, if you are in Los Angeles, you can come to the California Black Power Building, which is at 3423 West 43rd Place over in Leimert Park. Again, 3423 West 43rd Place, which is right in the heart of Leimert Park, right next to the Leimert Park station. Join us tonight. We've invited legislators. We want the LA legislators, which would be Smallwood, Isaac Bryant, it would be Senator Bradford, to come and talk from their perspective, because I am not sure, I don't understand the decisions that they made. You know, as a voter, as an informed voter, as an advocate in this space, I don't understand how you take, you know, such a big moment, a historic moment, and then you downplay it like you trying to allocate money for 5 lanes, you know, on the 405 freeway. I don't understand how you make it, oh, make so light of it. I don't understand that.
Yeah, you don't understand that. It was down to the point to where I saw one of the state senators was trolling when or whoever that was. I don't know who that was this past weekend. I saw him sort of trolling the protesters in the state capitol. One of the I forgot his name. I saw it on Twitter.
I hope it wasn't Reggie Jones Sawyer. And the crazy thing about Reggie Jones Sawyer, for those who were, you know, really paying attention to the AB 3121 task force hearings, he's one. So Senator Bradford voted for lineage, and Reggie Jones Sawyer, Assembly Member Reggie Jones Sawyer, voted against the lineage. And Reggie Jones Sawyer put forth an apology bill, but even if he had worked with us, his apology would have been stronger, because it basically calls for a plaque to be put on the state capitol. As far as I'm concerned, every year until the ending of these here United States, the state of California should be on that day reading that apology, and it should be put on calendars, not just on some plaque in one place. Like I said, this place is like going from New York to Georgia. Mm-hmm. And so it needs to be put in every municipal capital, as far as I'm concerned, throughout the whole state. You want to make impact, make significant impact. And then it also should be put in historically black communities like Allensworth. But you didn't talk to us, Reggie Jones Sawyer. So I give him credit in that it does comport to the UN principles of reparations, but it's about the lowest hanging fruit presented in the least impactful way that an apology could be done by the state of California.
Yeah, it was in fact Reggie Jones Sawyer. I'm playing a video right now of him sort of just, when people were protesting, he's coming out sort of just mocking everybody with this all this silly stuff, something that he'd never do to other communities that they were protesting. Something that they fought long and hard for, getting struck down. So I had it up on screen. I have CJ's website on screen, and I also have for those of you who want to know what's going on in Leimert Park tonight, it's on screen, 3423 West 43rd Place in the heart of Leimert Park, 6 o'clock, and that's where we're going to get our marching orders. Do you have any thing that you wanted that you recommend that we all do? Any recommendations? Because I'm telling you right now, I don't know how you feel, but I plan on having you on here more just as we get on. Just give us some update, if you don't mind, to give us updates.
I have no problem with the updates. You know, I wear a lot of hats, and to be honest, you know, as a commissioner, as the vice chair of the city of Los Angeles's Reparations Advisory Commission, that vote put me a bit like it made me take a step back in terms of, you know, what they call political will. You know, at the city of LA level, do we have political will? And I think y'all need to call the mayor, and you need to call your city council members and ask them where they are. Ask them, have they communicated with the commission? Ask them we don't have recommendations, but we have a report that just came out. Ask them if they read the report. Ask them if there are any parts of that report that they want to uplift and really focus on repairing. And then, when it comes to these state senators and these state assembly people, decide whether or not you're going to vote them out in November, because I do believe, in particular, I believe Lori, uh, what's her last name? Wilson, Chair Wilson.
Yeah.
She needs to look. Usually, in corporations, when some things go left under leadership, that leadership steps down, and I'm pretty sure she's not going to step down. So we need to move her down.
Yeah, that's what it.
And there will be more. There will be more in Leimert Park. We'll talk more strategy, but you got to be there to hear it.
Yeah, we'll definitely be there in Leimert Park tonight. I want to thank you again for this. I wanted to hear directly from somebody who's been there from day one. I want to, I like to speak on the news, but I also like my listeners to get the direct information. And I appreciate you.
Thank you for uplifting the information. And Zwan B, I will come back anytime. You came out, I met you, in community. And so anytime you want me to come in, if I have some pressing updates, you would be one of the people that I reach out for to make sure you get the news first.
And you see, I did. You sent me a text yesterday. I threw that thing right up on the screen. You happened to send it right when I was live about the Leimert Park. I put it right up there on the screen because it's that important that we moved it. Because things move fast, so we got to move fast.
That part.
Yeah. I appreciate you again. Thank you. There we go. That was Friday Jones here in LA, giving us an update on what's going on with reparations. This is something that, although I talk about a lot of things, I'm staying on this, y'all. Like, this isn't one of the things where we gonna talk just because we suffered a political setback that we fall and start crying like a bunch of hoes. Them days is over with, black folks. We don't cry over spilled milk. You get off your rusty, like my grandmama say, get off your rusty dusty, and you get back to moving. And don't let a minute be wasted in that transition. So we have real life sisters that are out here and brothers that are out here doing the work. Yes, and please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button. And don't be a messy Jesse over here talking about bringing up these people. I saw some of the names y'all bringing up in the chat. Did she check in with them? No, did they check in with us? Man, we coming in my chat and talking about something. No. This information gets put out there and people either come or they don't. No, all groups are going to agree. You're always going to have factions that disagree within things. You see that in the United States all the time. And disagreement does not stop the mission. We all push forward. And through what's going on here in California, people out there, if you in Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Massachusetts, Georgia, wherever you are, it's on you to take the mantle and grow it where you are. I was in a Twitter space the other day, and it was some dickhead that was in the Twitter space. He was like, you people in California. Our sister Camila Moore, and I'm going to interview Camila Moore also, because I think she's very special for the work she's been doing. We're going to interview her again pretty soon too. Well, anyway, he was saying, well, you people in California, I don't think y'all should get cash payments, because if you get cash payments, what's that gonna do to the rest of us in Mississippi? I'm listening like, nigga, please. If you want cash payments, goddamn it, go fight in your state the same way we fight in our state. And furthermore, what happens in California reverberates through other states. You think people in California don't want a federal check because we get a local check? I want a local check and a federal check. And I think all you guys deserve a local check and a federal check and corporate checks. So don't be coming around our California reparations. You guys just need to not do cash payments. So, man, sit your clown ass down. Whoever the fuck that was in that. Some of y'all was in that chat room. I think it was the News Toter's room the other day. And salute to News Toter on Twitter. I love that his page. Always has good news that's relevant to what we're going through. So yeah. Hell yeah, I'll still fight for other states. My business is based on the internet. Hell, I want any state black folks is out to get some reparations. The more reparations y'all get, the more money we can all spend with each other. But that takes us into the next subject for the day. And that's Marlon Wayans on Vlad TV. Oh my God. We got 247 here. Hit the like button. You make sure y'all hit the like button. And we got another 200 over on Twitter. We got over 500 people. So whatever platform you watching on, I need you to hit the like button or the heart button if you're on Twitter. Hit the retweet button if you're on Twitter, or share button if you're on YouTube. And let everybody know we about what's going on in reparations. And then now let's get on into what's going on with Marlon Wayans, because y'all know on this channel we've been sort of monitoring this whole situation between Marlon Wayans and Vlad TV, DJ Vlad. And I should start calling him DJ Sad or non-DJ Vlad, because he can't DJ an ice cream truck. But anyway, DJ Sad is going outside. And this motherfucker was just checkmated by rival Shannon Sharp and black man. The black man he tried to call out Marlon Wayans. For those of you who don't know, a couple weeks ago, Vlad apparently asked Marlon Wayans for an interview. Marlon Wayans' response was, okay, $40,000. Vlad got mad like a hoe. And when he got mad, instead of him just taking his L and moving on, he tried to bust out and call out Marlon Wayans and say Marlon is not worth $40,000 for an interview. And he talked about how Marlon was past his prime, yada, 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 yada. So Marlon said, okay, if you feel that way, then what I'm going to do is, instead of coming to interview with you, I am going to go interview with Club Shay Shay and Shannon Sharp, somebody you don't like. That was a great move. That was a great move. So Marlon went ahead and he interviewed on Club Shay Shay. And let me see where the views are right now. He's already at over 2 million views on Club Shay Shay. Let's see. Let me see. Let me pull up the interview. Yeah, he's already at over at 1.7 million views. Now let's go to DJ Vlad and see how many. Cause I don't follow Vlad. I don't follow Vlad. So let's see here. How many views is Vlad getting on his interviews? Okay. You see, I'm not subscribed to this whole motherfucker. Ooh, no. I don't want to play none of that shit for Vlad. Let's just watch his whole ass channel. All right, so this is what's going on with Vlad. Let's see here. Interviews. Okay, yesterday's interview with Big Tone, 35,000 views. Ken Shamrock, 8,000 views. Okay, 17,000 views. Okay, his last Tony Yayo interview, which is apparently one of his big interviews, 155,000 views. Okay, Not too bad. You know, he has a lot of, you know, I wish I had, not wish, I don't wish shit. I'm the one motherfucking Brown. But, you know, it would be like to have, it would be dope one day when this channel gets to the point to where it gets 50,000 views in interviews. So I'm not over here trying to minimize what Vlad's doing. These are great numbers. For anybody on YouTube, you pumping out a whole bunch of interviews, and you're getting, these are good numbers. Tony Yayo still going over to Vlad, huh? I heard something about 50 Cent giving him money to not go. I don't know how true that is. D.L. Hewley. I want to tell y'all about Kamala Harris, but I can't read. D.L. Hewley. So he in the hundreds of thousands of interviews, 50,000 interviews. He come over to Club Shay Shay, 1.7 million. God damn.
On the Tonight Show.
Damn. Club Shay Shay. Let me see here. When he breaks his videos up. Okay, even the broken up videos. Exposed to Hollywood 19 hours ago. 124,000 views. Respond to Monique. God damn. So even on the clips, he kicking your ass, DJ Vlad. Club Shay Shay is kicking your monkey ass. Your best interview is and he's interviewing some popular people. So you talking, because if Marlon goes on DJ Vlad, he's probably in the pocket with the rest of these interviews. You know, 50,000, 100,000 a clip. You know, 70,000 a clip. He's probably somewhere in that pocket. Who are these fucking people he's interviewing? I don't watch Vlad. Who the fuck is Spice is that Jamaican chick that was trying to say that black people that we got hip hop got toasting from Jamaica. I remember her when she was on the Breakfast Club when she thought that we got toasted from Jamaica. Okay. He goes back. Vlad Petty ass put up the old Marlon Wayans interview 30. So Vlad, it looked like Marlon made the right choice, homeboy. It looks like Marlon made the right choice. Cause yeah. You wouldn't have been able to do too much for Marlon Wayans, my guy. Oh shit, Tavis Smiley was on Vlad? I like Tavis Smiley. Okay. So yeah. It looked like Marlon's kicking your ass, homeboy. But it was something I wanted to talk about that was within the interview that Marlon said. Like, I'm glad Marlon made this move, and it shows that as black folks, we really do not need them. We don't need them. We don't need them. We can sustain this house from within. We can sustain this house and build this house and fortify this house from within. We don't need none of these monkey motherfuckers. None of them. Especially especially no musty looking motherfucker like Vlad. Vlad just looks like he smell like hot dog water. Don't he? Don't Vlad look like he smell like hot dog water? Like, he looks like he smells like earring backs. But his whole body smells like earring backs. We don't need this motherfucker. This earring back smelling fool. We do not need him. Now, with that being said, You know, I want to. It was a part of this Marlon interview. Somebody said Tavis is supporting the Democrats. Yeah, so I still like. I still like Tavis. I know he's a Democrat, but I still like him. Look, I can fuck with people even though we have opposing political views. I do not fuck with the Democrats, but it doesn't mean I can't be cool with somebody who does. Especially the way I look at it. The way I look at it, all them cats that's like over, all them cats that's like over 50, 55, especially 55, them baby boomers, it's a wrap for baby boomers. They been in the Democratic plantation. Our people our parents' age, they not getting out of that. They, hey, it is. I'm not gonna not fuck with them. That generation was raised, that generation voted for Reagan, That generation, thought that Bill Clinton was the first black president. I don't expect nothing from that generation. They were going around back in 93 calling Bill Clinton the first black president. I don't expect nothing from them. And if I do get something from them, it's a bonus. Thank you. But overall, man, they Democrats. Big Hank said battle like a Castlevania character. That motherfucker. This nigga DJ Vlad smells like alpaca fur. He smells like the ass fur of an alpaca. Yeah, I don't expect much from the baby boomers and up. Now again, not to say all baby boomers are like that. Not and also older Gen X, baby boomers and older Gen X. But not to say all baby boomers and older Gen X are like that, because you got two classes of Gen X. You got the older Gen X and the younger Gen X. And the older Gen X is a lot more like the baby boomers, and the younger Gen X, they more wise like us millennials. You dig? I'm a millennial. But when it comes down to it, not all baby boomers are like that. But overall, that's what they are. So look, Tavis Smiley being a Democrat, whatever. Whatever. So, and if that doesn't apply to you, if it don't apply, let it fly. I'm not going to not speak the truth because it don't apply to you. Hell, I don't know you. But I do know what I've been observing for my 40-some odd years on this earth. And I do know what I see when I go out there today. When I see 9 out of 10 black people over the age of 55, I know what I'm here. I'm here something Roland Martin said that y'all repeating. Or something Joy Ann Reid said. Or something you heard your friend say that Joy Reid said. I understand that. No baby boomers didn't. Somebody asked, didn't baby boomers bear the burden of Jim Crow? No, they didn't. The generation before them took that burden, the silent generation. Baby boomers came in after the fight was fought. Baby boomers were children. A baby boomer was 10 when King marched on Washington. Baby boomers were like just 15 years old. Baby boomers were the beneficiaries of what the silent generation and the generations before them put in. Baby boomers were the ones that got the free, cheap education at UCLA. A baby boomer can go to UCLA and get an apartment and work a part-time job, pay school off, and still have money to buy a car. That's the baby boomers. They received the benefits the older people fought for. All right? Now, baby boomers are traumatized because baby boomers were children when they saw Kennedy get shot. Well, they didn't see Kennedy get shot. When they heard about Kennedy getting shot, they were children when the Panthers were all murdered. They grew up seeing that. So they were traumatized vicariously watching all the old people that they looked up to get murdered. So, yeah, no. Baby boomers voted in Reaganomics. Remember that? Baby boomers said nah to Jimmy Carter, and they voted in Reaganomics. They benefited the most from Reaganomics, too. They benefited and got hit with it. But, so we got to understand that I'm not going to fight that generation. Let them have it. But back to what we're talking about as far as Marlon Wayans checking. And now I'm not going to sit here. Like I said, if it don't apply, let it fly. I had to listen to, as a millennial, I had to listen to my whole life. People saying, these millennials. We be in our 30s and people talking about millennials like we teenagers. You know how many shots as a millennial I had to take from baby boomers? The millennials just don't get it. The millennials, I'm like, shit, we was raised by y'all. Whatever we didn't get, y'all didn't teach. We can all be adult in here and understand when somebody's talking about a larger issue and they're not applying to you specifically. We can all be adults here and understand that. Can't we? Well, I hope we can. Because I knew when people were always talking about these millennials, they weren't talking about me. Still had to hear it, though. And so anyway, we have to make sure that, that we understand that. But back to what we're talking about as far as our power as Black people. We have power. We got a lot of power. We got power that we need to exercise. Now, somebody said they also got hit hard. No, they voted for that. They didn't get hit hard. You can't say you got hit hard by something you wanted. Baby boomers was calling Bill Clinton black. And then after he signed that 94 crime bill, they voted his ass back again in 96. I was around in the 90s. Everybody wanted Bill Clinton. Wasn't none of them, baby. I wasn't in voting age, but they wasn't fucking with Bob Dole. Nor were they fucking with the first Bush. They voted in that crap. But when it comes down to it with the Vlad shit, so I want to go ahead into something that Marlon Wayans said on Club Shay Shay. Where is it?
White chicks.
Let me see. What was it? It was around a 4-minute mark. It was around the 4-minute mark when he said this. Because what I want to say, this part about Marlon Wayans is, and this is where my issue with a lot of these celebrities, they don't study us. They don't know us. They don't really care too much about Blackness until it conveniences them. And on one hand, again, I thank Marlon. Not that I don't thank him for shit. He got paid off this. But I think it was a dope move for him to get back at DJ Vlad by going on Club Shay Shay. But he said some things that I got to address. And I want y'all to listen to this snippet from Marlon Wayans. And then we're going to talk about it on the other end.
He said, this would be funny.
Right.
Black people, Black artists, stop minimalizing your creativity. We should wear a dress and nothing.
This is him talking about wearing a dress. There's some cultural shit I want to address.
We shut that townhouse down and we moved to the crappy ass Sutton Hotel just so we could be around the cast, so we could party with them more. Wow. And we knew that was going to be a special white man that got you wearing Hey, people like the stigma of you wearing a dress and
Yes.
the white man that got you wearing a dress and you got it twisted. The white man got me wearing a dress. I didn't do this to try and get in Hollywood. This was something that we created because we said this would be funny.
Right.
Black people, black artists, stop minimalizing your creativity. We should do it all. Physical comedy, we should do drama, we should do, romantic comedy. You gotta do slapstick. We should be able to cover all forms of our expression of comedy because white people don't do that. White people don't sit there and go, man, look at Dustin Hoffman wearing that dress.
Robin Williams.
Look at Robin Williams wearing a dress. There you go. Robin Williams wearing a dress again.
Didn't Dustin Hoffman
Look
win
at
the war?
Tom.
I want to address that part right there. Look, wear a dress, don't wear a dress. I don't give a shit. But I want to get into that topic since he brought it up. The whole wearing a dress part. You see how he said that black people don't allow, look, it's a billion ways to be funny. And I'm not against the movie White Chicks. Personally, I thought it was silly, so I didn't really watch it all the way through. I'm not against them, I'm not against none of it. Do what you do. But you can, just because you do what you do, don't mean you can chastise us for our reaction as a people. Yes, as black people, we've gone through a lot. And when we see our men, we don't want to see our men in no fucking dresses. We are a different culture than the European. You're comparing us to the Greco-Romans. You're comparing us to the people who go around making statues of men with little ass balls hanging out. Of a culture of a completely different culture. People of the ice are different than people of the earth. And yes, we do have different expectations. You don't get to chastise us for that. You notice how quick, that's one thing I don't like about celebrities. They're so quick to chastise the black audience for its taste. And they don't do that to nobody else. They always want to come to us going, leave us the fuck alone. Leave us alone. Let's go back. I want to play a little bit more of that. I want to go back. And I want to play that part again. And then we're going to break it up. We're going to really break it down.
Like the stigma of you wearing a dress and
Yes.
the white man that got you wearing a dress and you got it twisted. The white man got me wearing a dress. I didn't do this to try and get in Hollywood. This was something that we created because we said this would be funny.
Right.
Black people, black artists, stop minimalizing your creativity. We should do it all. Physical comedy, we should do drama, we should do, romantic comedy. You gotta do slapstick. We should be able to cover all forms of our expression of comedy because white people don't do that. White people don't sit there and go, man, look at Dustin Hoffman wearing that dress.
Robin Williams.
Look at Robin Williams wearing a dress. There you go. Robin Williams wearing a dress again.
Didn't Dustin Hoffman
Look
win
at
the war?
Tom.
He won. Did he win?
Black people get skewered and scrutinized. White people win statues. Robin Williams won a Golden Globe for Mr. Doubtfire.
This motherfucker said black people get scrutinized, white people win statues. Well, it's their award show, my brother. That's what their culture values. If white culture is okay with men skimping around in a dress, fine. Black culture ain't. And we never will be. If that's your thing, my brother, then that's your thing. I ain't calling you gay. I ain't saying none of that. I'm just saying it's your thing. Who are you to criticize us for not being down with your proclivities? We don't want to reward or award that. And then these be the same people that be like, well, black folks are the only one that listen to gangster rap, and our music is this, and our music is that. Whatever angle these celebrities have to diss us is the angle that they take. That's why on one hand, I want to talk about him, checkmating DJ Vlad to show overall what our power is. But at the same time, just because you a celebrity, don't mean you get to chastise us because we don't want to see no man walking around in no fucking dress. Black America has always been the moral authority of the United States. Anything the United States has ever done moral has come from us. Any and everything moral has come from Black Americans. So what? We hold the line. You better be lucky we hold the line, because this country wouldn't have no fucking civil rights laws if we didn't hold the line. That's like saying, white folks, they was cool with slavery, man. Black people, the only people you see complaining about slavery. Everybody else worked. I don't hear no white people complaining about black people being enslaved. What kind of shit is that?
Dustin Hoffman won an Oscar for Tootsie. And do you see any white people screaming that about them? Black people, we have been so hurt and so damaged through slavery and all that we've been through that we think we have to uphold ourselves a certain...
No, it's not that. We don't think that we got to uphold her. We just think that men are men and women are women. That's not about upholding a certain rah-rahs. No, it's just men are men, women are women. And there are a trillion ways you can make me laugh. You know what else black people don't like, Marlon? Stepping fetching ass niggas. They get just as much ridicule and complaint as the cross-dressing niggas. Oh, Chivas, Beavis ass niggas. We don't fuck with that. We really don't. White people like blackface. That's like saying, you don't see white folks going around here complaining. Al Jolson, he wore blackface, and what? You didn't see no white people complaining about Al Jolson wearing blackface. You didn't see no issue. White folks had blackface all through the 1870s, the 80s, 90s, 1900s. You didn't hear nobody complaining about no blackface. But here come black folks talking about, it's all kinds of ways to make people laugh. Who's to say I can't laugh in blackface? Oh, but he is going to make that point. Watch.
The best way we can uphold ourselves is to support each other. Don't be crabs in a barrel trying.
Hold on, before I even get to the whole blackface part, no, you don't get support if you're doing something we don't like. You don't just get support. That's like saying vote for Kamala because she black. That's like saying vote for Barack Obama because he black. We did do that, didn't we? That's like saying vote for these local state senators because they black. And you see what's happening right now here in California. All them black folks are the ones that stop reparations because you're looking at color. You don't get a pass on bullshit just because you're the same color as me, nigga. No. There's still going to be a certain scrutiny to how you express your art. You coon out, it's going to be a problem. You wearing a dress, people going to say something. That's just what it is, because we have a different cultural morality than European Americans. Black Americans and European Americans have different cultural moralities.
And to break each other down. They do that. It's been in our psyche for years. When does it stop? When does it stop? This is what we do. We're gonna use our airwaves to break each other down and to build each other up. Nah, man. No, that's not why we wear dresses. There ain't a gay bone in my body. Gayest thing about me is my daughter. You know what I'm saying?
It's not about you being gay. Again, I don't think Marlon Wayans is gay. I don't think so at all. I think he's straight as an arrow. It's about the imagery that gets put out there. When you're dealing with black people, you're dealing with people who get nothing but a constant negative barrage of negative imagery. There's no balance between these dudes wearing dresses, these Lee Daniels characters, these Tyler Perry characters. If we get inundated with these old weak ass characters that these dudes put out, and there's no balance of anybody being straight and taking care of their family. It ain't like in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s when you had you could have people wearing Tuwan Fu, Wesley Snipes, but you also had Boomerang with Eddie Murphy. You also had movies like Distinguished Gentlemen, Strictly Business. There was a lot of movies in the 90s that you had House Party, you had party movies. And so we had a balance. But when it comes to imagery, how many times have you seen an image of a straight black man that's taking care of his family, that can stand on his own 2 feet, and he's the one defending his family? When's the last time you've seen that in the last 20 years? Now, if they do have a straight black man with a family, it's going to be some shit where the black man is the buffoon and the wife is the one solving all the problems. It's going to be like on that movie, what was that movie, Get Out? Was it Get Out? What was Get Out? What was that Key and Peele movie? The one when they was in the house. Chat room. What was the name of that movie? When they was in the house. And then when they were in the house and was it Get Out? The horror film? And they were like in a beach house or whatever. You saw the man getting injured, spraining his ankle. The black man was like a white woman in a horror film. The woman's the one kicking everybody's ass and shooting everybody. You have the woman saving the man. Us. That's the name of the movie, Us. The dude is when you do have a black man with a family, the black man's a fucking buffoon, can't think for himself. Woman's solving all the problems. And again, there's no slight to women, but damn, while you over here defending your dress, when was the last time you seen a straight black man with his shit together solving the issues in his community in a movie? If imagery wasn't so important, why is there a dearth of this style of film? Why is there a dearth of films that have an accurate depiction of black men who love their family, defend their family, and do everything they can do for their family? Marry. If imagery wasn't so important, why don't those films exist? You say, been living in Germany for over 30 years. In the States, they got our people looking bad worldwide. Yeah. The Equalizer's wife died. Remember the Equalizer? Remember he was fighting for his dead wife. Again, you don't see a black man defending his family. She was already dead. That means the whole movie was him basically, the Equalizer, great movie, but it's a series about him making up for him fucking up. Let's keep going.
But honestly, and not to say, but I'm not a homophobe either. I got gay friends. I'm comfortable enough as a man that I can wear a dress and still feel like a man.
Right.
I'm doing comedy, so I'm gonna continue to do comedy. And when you do it right, you know when you do it right. You know why black people ain't mad at Robert Downey Jr. for doing the character in Tropic Thunder?
Yes, black people were mad at Nick. Black people didn't fuck with Tropic Thunder. You silly niggas did. I remember watching it like, I don't feel right about this. And on top of that, there was a massive outcry when Tropic Thunder died. He's over here acting like there wasn't a loud outcry with Robert Downey Jr. playing that blackface character. Yes, in fact, there was. Don't lie to prove your point. It was. Let me see. Um, let me see here. This is from the Salon. This is from the Salon, an article that was recently written. 15 years later, Tropic Thunder is a flawed comedy that we're still trying to agree on. Here's telling you right here, August 19th, last year. This movie's now 16 years old, and they're still writing articles talking about people not being cool with the whole situation. So for him to go around and act like we was cool with this is extremely disingenuous. So I gotta watch out for these Hollywood niggas, man.
Because it was funny. It was funny. He didn't downplay black people. He just did the black guy. He felt like he was in character. Right. And it was funny, and it came from a good place. Right. So black...
Huh? What? We didn't like this shit. And I get where they were coming from. Still didn't like it. What did you say? Did anybody super chat? Did anyone else notice the symbolism of Denzel getting shot in the ass on training day? Yeah. And again, look, I don't get into if, look, because there is no blanket what we should do and what we shouldn't do. There's no blanket. I don't believe in a monolithic train of thought. But all I'm saying is, if black people choose to fight back over you wearing a dress, you're not in a position to wag your finger at us. You're not in a position to do this to us because of how we react. Because these cats in Hollywood, man, they black when it's convenient, bruh. We just got off the phone with Friday Jones talking about reparations in California. Remember, I got love for Marlon Wayans. I'm not over here to say that, I'm not here just to dump on him and nothing like that. But we got to call this shit out. We got to call this out because this is the same Marlon who back in June, let's see if I can go back to his tweets in June. Y'all remember back in June when he was Captain LGBTQ? Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? When he came out and he was talking real aggressive to black people.
And then Skittles or Rainbow Child is about my daughter. I have a daughter that transitioned into a son. My daughter Amai is now Kai.
Truthful.
And so
Okay.
And so I talk about the transition, not her their transition, but my transition as a parent going from ignorance and denial to complete unconditional love and acceptance.
Gotcha.
And I think there's a lot of parents out there that need to.
That was one of, what's the other one? Because there's another one with him kind of just going in on black people. Remember when he was talking all kind of shit? See, during Pride Month, he stood out there for Pride. That's all I'm trying to say. Here it is, this caption. Happy Pride to all my LGBTQ people. I'm straight. And then it was another one. Here it is. Do I really give a fuck? Happy Pride Month, especially to all you hateful dudes out there mad because I'm supporting family and friends. You see how, and again, I had no issues. He got to support his son. I'm not tripping on none of that. But that's fine. You over here supporting your son. That's cool. I get it. Man. Y'all saw my wife come in the back. Ha. Y'all supporting y'all son. I get it. I get it. I get it. But you can support your son, but you're going in and using a whole community. You're uplifting a whole community in this situation. But when it comes over here, you want to chastise us around that same thing. But at the same time, when it came time for reparations, or when it comes time for reparations and things that really matter to black people, these people are silent. Silent. This is the shit that I'm talking about. This is the shit. You don't get to chastise. You don't get to chastise us. You don't get to chastise us. And then turn around and do everything you can do in the world for other communities. And you're not willing to lend that support to your own. That's an issue. That's an issue. I need y'all to go to scenes.io. And at 4:20 today, I will be doing comedy and cracking jokes and talking shit in the metaverse. So if you have Oculus glasses, if you got Oculus glasses, I need y'all to go to scenes.io so y'all can fuck with me. We're going to be in the metaverse cracking jokes. I still got my cord plugged in so I can charge to make sure I'm all charged up. But I'm going to be in the metaverse today cracking jokes, all right? So I need y'all to, if y'all got Oculus glasses, go to scenes.io. Follow me on MetaQuest, all right? Follow me on MetaQuest. Go to scenes.io. And then come on in here, hit explore, and you will find my comedy club. But if you go to scenes.io, if you download scenes.io and then come into the comedy verse, today we're having a free comedy kickback, interactive. We're doing that for free on scenes.io today. Also go to DewanB.com to stay up to date on all things me. Finishing up my documentary. Got my t-shirts and all that good shit up here. Then you can go on over to Breakthrough Cards, book your readings, book your appointment, and we can read and all that good stuff, all right? But that's what it is. That's why, like, we do support. We support. I support Marlon Wayans' checkmate move. I support it. I like it because it was against Vlad. But at the same time, black folks, I brought this up to have balance. We should be able to support moves people make, but still be able to tell the truth about the overall thing. Overall, Marlon doesn't speak for us when it comes to overall. Now, if he's getting heat, then it's black people, you know? But he doesn't speak for us the way he speaks for the LGBTQ community. So he doesn't have the right to chastise us when we say that, hey, we don't really like movies with dresses. Yeah, we're gonna. I didn't watch White Chicks for that reason. I thought that shit was stupid. Like, it could have been a very funny movie. Now, Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. That's one of my favorite parody movies. Scary Movie, great movie. A movie about two black dudes dressed up as white chicks in bad makeup. I've seen snippets of it, but it's never held my attention past 5 minutes. But it made a lot of people like this, so I'm not mad. You know what I mean? But I'm just not one to. I didn't like Big Mama's House by Martin. Martin can make me laugh without wearing a big ass muumuu. Now, I will say this: Martin made me laugh my ass off when he was dressed as Shanae. I'm not gonna say that Shanae was funny than a motherfucker. Big Mama's House wasn't. To me, Don't Be a Menace to Scary Movie, especially Scary Movie 1 and 2 was funny. White chicks and all that stuff wasn't. You don't get to chastise me on my blackness because I ain't with it. You don't get to get a black pass and see that's the thing with a lot of these celebrity niggas. They think them being a celebrity just gives them the carte blanche to do and say what they want, and we as black people gotta shut up and accept it. Hell no, nigga, kiss my ass all the way. No, we support you. We want you to make money, but if you do something that steps outside of our cultural sensibilities, we gonna say something. Hell yeah, Nutty Professor was funny. So was Coming to America. Yeah. Dude said maybe should have taken his daughter to church. I am not even I'm not even gonna argue with that. Maybe. Probably. Oh shit. We split right down the middle. We got 350 watching on Twitter, 360 watching on YouTube. No. Somebody said Martin didn't do stand-up comedy. Did you not watch Def Comedy Jam? Huh? What do you mean Martin didn't do stand-up comedy? You So Crazy? You So Crazy is one of the greatest stand-up specials of all time. You better go look up Martin Lawrence. Shit. Those were the best years of Def Jam when he was hosting it. You better look that man up. Run Tell That. Come on now. What you talking about? Run Tell That and You So Crazy are two of the greatest stand-up specials ever. Hey, yeah, no. You better go check that out. But yeah, I want to thank Friday Jones for coming on here and giving us an update what's going on in reparations. It's hot in the motherfucker here in LA. God damn, you going through a heat wave. Yeah, somebody said Martin did do stand-up comedy. You better go, what? Did you not watch? The Def Comedy Jam is the greatest stand-up comedy series of all time. Mm-hmm. The reason why Martin didn't do Kings of Comedy Tour because he was bigger than everybody that was on the Kings of Comedy Tour at that time in the art of stand-up, not just his TV show. Paycheck said, nigga, what? Yeah, Martin's on tour right now doing stand-up. He hosted. But yeah, thank y'all again for listening, though. Marlon Wayans, we support your move. We still support you. I think the Wayans family is their entertainment royalty, Their entertainment royalty. And I got love and respect for them. I got love and respect for them, but no, just because you black don't mean you can't get checked. Sorry. You create images and do things that harm our greater good, or that question us when you want to question us and say, why can't we be like Europeans? No, because we don't want to be like Europeans. If we were like Europeans, this country wouldn't have the morality that it has. It would have the morals of medieval Europe. You gotta understand, our Europeans came here to escape medieval, that dungeon, slave port, a slave country of medieval Europe. They were leaving that shit to come over here for some freedom and some level of civility that we offered as a people. Understand who we are, Marlon Wayans. We have a different standard That's who we are. We need to embrace that standard, go back to it, and refine it for today, but still understand that we have a standard, and our standard has never been on the same level as the European American. And no disrespect to European Americans, but this is just facts. We've never fundamentally agreed on the moral thing here in the United States of America, nor did we agree in Europe. Because when black people arrived in Europe, they gave you guys soap, rubbing alcohol, running toilets, air-conditioned buildings, mathematics, and things like that. We've never been around Europeans and lowered ourselves to that standard. We've always brought them up to ours, even during the times of Jim Crow and slavery. Even we told them that they had, at least during slavery, the women and the fathers at least had the wisdom to give their kids to the black mom, because they had black midwives, and they were raising their children on black lady breast milk, because they understood that that's probably the best chance for my child to be something in life if we give it to that black woman to raise, at least until he's 7 or 8 years old. Then we'll take him back. So understand who you are as a people, Marlon Wayans, all right? Understand who we are as a people. And don't go wagging your finger at us, especially when you can jump out for LGBTQ rights during Pride Month. When we're in the middle of a reparations fight in your state where you live, you couldn't say a word. That's the new thing, y'all. With these celebrities, man. These celebrities, we have, and as you saw with Friday Jones, we're going to continue this reparations fight. We're going to continue this. And when these celebrities, if they choose to stay quiet, that's cool. That's cool. Like, it's your option. I don't believe, again, I told y'all before, I don't believe in telling people what they shouldn't do. I'm totally fine with people being apolitical, choosing not to participate in politics. Yeah, I respect that move. But what I don't respect is when it comes down time to it, when we making moves, you quiet. Then when something comes around that affects you or your family, you want to now be a champion of that cause. Of course, as long as it isn't black. Y'all want to be a part of that cause if it doesn't rock the boat of them white folks you want to check from. But when it comes to times that we can use your voice, when we can use your voice to get something that's good for all of us, you want to stay quiet. That ain't cool. That ain't cool. Let me see here. I was gonna read Marlon's card, but I don't. Can't find it. Oh, so he's a 5 of clubs. Okay, here it is. Marlon Wayans is a 5 of clubs. This is his card. No, that's not his card. I thought I had his card. Okay. The paper I have, I'm supposed to be using Marlon Wayans' card on. Desktop. Let's see here. Give him a quick read. Marlon is a 5 of clubs. That means Marlon he's a 5. So I see why his values are wishy-washy. I'm not mad at him. I see why he can see. He's a 5 of clubs, so Marlon can really see both sides of a lot of things. That's why people like him that are a 5 of clubs, they have to become grounded. He has to have some kind of practice that grounds him in reality. And with Marlon being in Hollywood for the last 30 years, I'm not sure how grounded he is to the reality to the rest of us. He has his own reality. I'm not sure how rooted he is in the mass reality and the mass consciousness of people. And as a 5 of clubs, I can see how that can happen. Because he's somebody that can see all kinds of points of views, but it's very hard for him to really create his own. Overthinks things. Anyway, I'm not going to get too deep into it. But thank y'all again for listening. Get your readings at dewanb.com. We'll be back here tomorrow with some more news and information. Thank y'all again for listening. And remember this, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. I'm out.